Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, it's Infinity Blade. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Welcome to Tuesday the 10th. We are doing Infinity Blade.
That's right. 2010 was the first Infinity Blade. Infinity Blade 2 just came out. It's an iOS Mac exclusive.
Which means that you can only play it on like iPad
or
iPhone.
But it has gotten enough critical attention and claim. And it's the first game that makes me feel that the iPad or the iPhone is possibly a valid platform for game. Yeah, because it's kind of like the Wii. It's like you have to move, and like we reviewed the Move, the PS3 Move, and the gun thing and the sharpshooter thing. It's the same sort of. It's like there's limitations to those sort of things. You can't really have the same experience that you can when you're using thumbsticks and buttons,
right?
And whatever. This game, having said that, is kind of on rails. You really can't do free exploration. It's a lot like Myst, if you ever played those games back in the day, where you like click. It's a point and click adventure with little mini games in between, and the mini games are really what's fun. Infinity Blade 2, they did add some story elements, so that can be kind of engaging. Although it's just kind of filler. It's really just kind of one of those games that is addictive.
Yeah, you just sit there and play. It's a very good modern era Tetris.
Yeah, it's a puzzle solving in combat kind of thing, and it is a good one that you can kind of play. And then I play it, maybe 20 minutes before I go to bed or something, just to kind of wind down. And it's a little here and there. You just leave it.
I'm tired. I think I'm gonna kill a giant.
Yeah, exactly. And there is enough customization to keep it interesting.
Yes.
A whole bunch of different weapons and a whole bunch of different armor and shields and all that stuff. Gems that you can find and money that you spend and collect, and it's really fun. They were really smart in that even like the cut scenes where he's like walking, you can still look around and like find money while he's walking around. That's awesome, especially because, and I'm kind of going kind of fast here, but especially because this game reuses the same environments over and over. It does give little twists. So you start off, you are undead, and you're going to find, I forget the name of it. It's some generic, like the maker or the changer.
Oh, Googly Moogly.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but
Googly Moogly.
No, it's not. And then
I'm sorry, it's the Great.
So you go through this castle, and there are doors over here, but you can only go this way the first time. Second and third time you die, I mean, you basically go, even if you fight the boss and you win, you still die and go back. But when you go back, it is now 3 years later or 6 months later or whatever they choose to have it. And the next iteration, when you go to that point where you can only go through that door before, now you can go through this door, but there's still another door that you can't go through. So that's
would you say that this is like a haunting?
A haunting? I don't know what you mean.
You start off as like an undead, and then you just keep on coming back to the same place, doing kind of the same thing.
If you want to see it that way, then
I think I do.
Sure.
I want to. You're haunting it.
So it's Epic Games and Share Entertainment, the makers of this, and it is a really kind of brilliant game. There's dodges and parries. There's 3 different weapon types. There's dual-handed, two-handed, and then single-handed and shield.
Right.
And it's a kind of your fighting style dictates how you move. I mean, like if you have two-handed, you don't have a shield. You do have a block. If you have dual wield, you have no block. You only have dodges. So it's just kind of a balance of, sometimes the foe dictates and sometimes just your play style. I always play with the shield because I really like having that block there in a pinch. But there's kind of a special move you can do, and there's magic spells that you can do, and they handle that really neat where you have to touch this point on the screen to say I'm going to cast a spell, and then you have to draw the rune shape.
Yeah, kind of like a Okami, with the slashes.
Right.
I think it works. And especially since there is no buttons in this, it's a touch screen. So, I mean, I guess they're buttons, but you really just tap the icon to say what you want to do. And slashes, you have to use your finger to slash like a sword.
And it's fairly responsive. If you slash again while the animation is still going, a lot of times it won't do a second slash. So you do have to time it right. But that's part of the game. So, again, kind of a generic story where you're searching for this guy and you keep running into the Lord of Darkness or whatever, and he's, you know, whatever. You kill him and then he's there again, and then you kill him again and then he's there again, but it is really fun. There is a point where you start learning. I don't know. It's one of those things. It's almost like in shades of Zelda.
Okay.
Where you see a point and you're like, okay, I know I can go up there at some point, but not yet.
Right now.
So this game, you know, you see a tree and the tree starts growing and it grows bigger and bigger and bigger till the point where you can actually climb up the tree now.
Like the magic beans almost.
There's like a shortcut kind of thing. So, yeah. He only played it for a little bit, but he's hooked, I think.
I am.
So,
I wish I had an iDevice.
Yeah. It's kind of a stinker. I don't know if it'll ever be available on any other device. I haven't heard shades of that, but if you know somebody with it, just it's like $7. It's awesome value.
Graphics are amazing.
Yeah.
I was very surprised to see it like that.
Yeah, the graphics, that's kind of their thing. And in fact, when I first got 2, they pushed the graphics so far that it wouldn't play on my iPad. They had to release patches because people that had over 100 megabytes of stuff on their iPad just wouldn't run.
Wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous because it uses like every single ounce of the processing power. So it is a really, really fantastic game for a small package. And the price, you can't beat. That's less than most Xbox arcade games, you know.
I think it's amazing that, they had to throw out those patches for people with a lot of memory, because the simple fact that you're in the same place doing the same, well, maybe not the same thing over and over, but, the setting doesn't change at all. I think it's,
There are new areas to discover, but you are going through the first 3 or 4 areas are always the same.
Right.
And then you kind of diverge.
But that totally, adds gameplay time to gameplay memory.
Yeah, and they do randomly generate bad guys except for the end bosses.
Okay.
So, one time your first boss will be this big hulking monster like I fought here now, and then the next time it'll be a dual-wielding guy or a guy with an axe, or one of the horse guys will show up earlier.
Horse guy.
Yeah,
it reminds me of the guy from Zelda too.
Yeah. So, it is a lot of fun. Definitely give it a try if you can.
Yeah.
And let's hope they do more of these games. I am actually genuinely excited to see what else they come up with that's like this.
Yeah, and
I can't think of any other game that's touch sensitive that I enjoy like this. I mean, like Angry Birds, but you can play that on anything. It doesn't need to be touch sensitive. It doesn't really gain much from being touch sensitive.
That's very true. This is very touch. Yeah, like you said, it definitely creates or changes the iDevice into a definite gaming platform. It definitely makes that open to it. That's very interesting. And
I'm a little. The reason I really don't usually like touch-sensitive games is just the fact that they are so short that it's not really sit down and play. It's not like a Skyrim or something. But this shows that there's a possibility for something sort of like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you would, they have the games where you have in the corner, you put your finger here and you go forward and whatever, but that doesn't really, that's just kind of whatever. It doesn't really work that way. They do sell these things that you snap onto your iPad that you can use as a thumb, like an actual thumbstick that
I don't like that. Well, I guess it's kind of cool.
I don't know, it depends, but yeah, that's just play your PlayStation or Xbox or something. But anyway, it was definitely worth a mention.
Yeah,
brilliant game.
It's kind of like, and did we already do Dark Souls? We did, right? So it's kind of like that. I mean, where you
it's kind of similar.
Continuously repeat and you gain level.
Yeah, I mean. The thing about Dark Souls, though, is it's really about you're dictating the pace and the choices that you make. I mean, this one, basically, you do have a few choices, but your choices are limited, very limited. Right. So, but the customization, the graphics, all that stuff.
The graphics are amazing. I'm very surprised about that.
And the music is pretty good, too.
Yeah.
So good on you, Chair. Worst name ever.
What?
Chair.
That's the name of the company?
Chair Productions. Yeah.
Oh, Chair. Like Chairman.
Chair. They're H. It's a lowercase. It looks kind of like a chair.
Oh, that's clever. Okay. Sorry. So, with a game like this, could you see a future for other similar games? Like, what do you see in the future for the iPad, iPhone?
Well, like they're doing. Have you seen the Rising game, the Metal Gear Solid Rising?
I have.
Where what's his name? They do the ninja this time instead of Snake, Solid Snake.
Yes. The guy in white.
It has the same sort of thing where you can cut people up by your different slices.
Right.
So something like that would work really well. It really just needs to embrace the fact that it is a touchscreen and have a fun mechanic that is like that. Like everybody loves those stupid games like Fruit Ninja. Have you ever played that?
Yes.
Like throws and you
That's
slash
fun.
the fruit and you're trying to that works well when you're trying to play a normal game that is now ported to the. That's when it gets frustrating. It's like I don't want to sit here and on a touch screen. I just do it on your game. It's like limited graphics, limited space, and you still got to do the exact same thing. So when they integrate things like if I could like take this and like spin it around or something, like there's that one game that has like a puzzle solving. It has all these ropes that you have to cut, and you have to cut the right one to get the thing to swing over here and then go down here. Those are the sort of games that if they elaborate on, if they add some story and pump up the graphics, those could be like this, as far as I'm concerned.
So what you're saying is rather than...
They got to embrace the newness and not try to just be another...
Right, but as a touch screen, you'd prefer something that swipes as opposed to something to be pressed.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And I think like Okami would be brilliant on this.
Yes.
Perfect. That's
Although
all.
there is a lot of steering, moving the
Yeah, I don't know how they could do that. I mean,
process.
the ones that have like the intervalometer stuff where you have to move them. That
like
sucks.
Labyrinth.
It sucks because like me, sometimes I'll be at a weird angle or something if I'm laying in bed or something or whatever, and it's just it doesn't work the same. It kind of does because it kind of knows where you are, but I just don't want to do this. It's hard to see. It's like it just doesn't. I don't know.
So, would you buy an iPad specifically for that game?
Oh heck no.
Okay.
For a $6 game, no way. But
would you buy an iPad because it's an iPad?
I bought an iPad because I'm a writer, and it's perfect for writing. Plus, it's great for comics. It's also great for little games for entertainment. But I wouldn't buy it just for the games. No way. I'm just an old school. I want whatever you need as a designer to make the best game you can. That's what I want you to have. And at least with like Xbox and PlayStation, you have as many buttons as you need. And with a computer, you have even more flexibility.
Don't you think that artists the deprived artists provide the best work? Like the artist who has to improvise does the best.
No, not really.
No?
I mean, I understand. I know people say that, but no. I mean, I think too much freedom is a bad thing sometimes. It just depends on what kind of artist, if you're self-motivated and you can control yourself. But no, I think that artists should have as many tools as possible. I mean, yeah, it's great what you can come up with, if you only have sticks to do art. But you're only, you're not going to do anything else but sticks. I mean, that's all whatever. It might challenge the artist, and the artist might have to think outside the box. But at the end of the day, it's on rails. It's like you're limited. Very true. There's no way it could be more than just on rails that I know of. I mean, prove me wrong. That'd be great. But I don't want to do. If you have your finger there and you're moving the guy around, then you got your finger in the way.
Yes.
It's like I don't know how that would really work, unless you have like a portion of the screen devoted just to controls, and then you might as well be holding the controller.
That's very true.
So I don't know. Interactive story, yes. Like I definitely want to do a motion comic that is an interactive kind of point and click, and that would be great. I would love to do that. I don't have time right now, but I plan to do that eventually.
Looking forward to everything we do on Nexus. So there you have it. Our review of Infinity Blade is that artists need everything that they possibly can to do their work.
Yeah, but having said that, it is the first game that I really, truly enjoy on the touch device.
And I enjoyed it too, and I think I might buy an iPad specifically for that, although I was hoping to get something that's more, Microsoft Windows related.
Yeah.
So, but I guess not. I guess I need an iPad.
Nick likes Peppy and Arthur likes Coke. I like Mac and you like PC. It doesn't really work, but...
Yeah, we totally need to work on that song.
You like cats and I like dogs.
I like dogs too.
There you go. That's it. See you later.
Yes. There you go. And now I can continue with what I was about to say, which was friend us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're going to the Emerald City Comic Con, let me know. I want to take a tally. Thank you. Have a great day. Oh, wait. I was watching SNL, and here we go.
Coming up, a book on the physics of superheroes. It's hard to see, it's like...
Yes.
Yep.